Viewer discretion advised.
Much like Duck, Oliver is a Great Western tank engine. With the help of his trusty brake van Toad, he has found his title as a really useful co-worker on Duck's branch line. Though sometimes his resource and sagacity can go into his smoke box and make him conceited. At one point, he was tangled in a confrontation with some troublesome trucks, causing the Great Western engine to plummet bunker first into the turntable well. But at the end of the day, we all know that Oliver can get himself back up again with the help of teamwork, and this was one of those stories. One day, Oliver had just arrived at a nearby station to pick up some passengers when he noticed that some ladies were visibly upset. Pardon me, ladies, but what seems to be the problem?
It turns out that our old dance studio has closed down and is set for demolition in 3 days. The state officer said it's too old and dusty for us to practice for the recital. Why, it would take a miracle to give our old studio a new makeover at a cost of £20. Please help us, Oliver. You're our only saving grace.
I'll see what I can do, Oliver said kindly.
Gee, Mr. Oliver, I sure hope that things weren't quite as bad as the ladies made it out to be.
I know what you mean, Toad, but times change as we progress. Hello? What's this here? I don't believe this! As Oliver and Toad passed by an old-fashioned dance studio, they noticed a large notice that was put in place, reading in bold letters, "Danger, set to be demolished in 3 days." Seems that those ladies were right after all. Alright, come on, Toad. Let's get these passengers back to Knapford, and then we'll have to meet up with the other engines back at the sheds. As soon as the news was confirmed, the Scottish twins, Donald and Douglas, were speechless. Oh my, closed down and demolished in 3 days. It's a shame, really. I honestly don't blame you, Donny. I mean, how can you practice dancing for opening night if you cannot have a studio to perform the right moves? Honestly, it just doesn't make any sense. Now, quickly, Oliver, how much does it cost? Well, £20. £20, not bad.
Indeed, and worst case scenario, we'll just have to think of a plan as quickly as possible.
All 5 agree that something must be done, but none knew what. Until Oliver said, "Now quickly, Duck, without thinking, if you were to have anything in the world right now, what do you think it would be?" More time for thinking? No, I mean like an item, like something you typically pay for. A carton full of lemons? Hey, I like what you're thinking there. Well done, Duck. That's using the old noodle. After a few decisions were made via phone call, the fat controller couldn't help but agree. Why, certainly, he smiled, and in a few moments, he added, "It shall be spick and span by the time you make the dough." At Farmer McColl's, the workers were waiting by the platform, and as soon as Oliver and Duck were coupled up, they began to fill their trucks with fresh yellow lemons. The deliveries were ready to go. Come along, you lot," Oliver said to the trucks. And the trucks answered, "Trickety-trock, trickety-trock, all right, all right." "That is better, that's better," said Oliver. At the first station, Oliver and his crew met a smartly dressed man waiting for Thomas's train. "Good afternoon, sir," smiled Oliver. "Could we interest you in a crate full of lemons?" "Ah, so we got ourselves a fruit salesman on wheels, huh?" "Well, not exactly, but you get the idea." "Well, I'm completely sold." "Well, seeing as how I can take these little numbers home with me, how does $10 sound?" "Well, it seems like this campaign is just getting started," Oliver thought to himself. Soon enough, things were sailing rather smoothly for the two engines. As soon as more deliveries were made, they're each rewarded with a single bill. Tunnels and stations flashed by, and even signal lights showed green as they passed. The journey went on and on until it was naturally time for a breather. Later that day, Duck and Oliver's crew were sitting on a table enjoying their meals while the two engines were parked in some empty sidings, calculating how much would be added up to, adjusted for inflation in 1974. I don't think that's enough money to save the dance studio. Duck, it looks like we're going to need some heavy artillery, a new concept. I think you're right, lad. I got it! What if we convince Mr. Bubbles to be hosting a hurdy-gurdy production at the country fair? Nah, let's just save that for when it's summer, Duck. There must be something to the selling gimmick that neither of us are getting at. I mean, what was the reason that we purchased a train full of lemons? Other markets on Sodor have distributed huge successors. I mean, look at that! Oh, what's this? Mr. Jolly's Chocolate Factory presents the new and improved Jolly Chocolate Bar with or without almonds. Indeed, and yet they've made lower prices a day.
Excuse me, Mr. Duck. Excuse me, Mr. Oliver. I do have a suggestion. Seeing as how next month will be a scorcher, why not take the train full of lemons over to the lemonade factory? I hear tell that the workers were running fresh out.
At first, Duck was very skeptical of the idea until he said, "You know, that's actually a solid idea, Toad." "It is? Of course. I mean, what's the point of cooling off during a hot summer's day if you cannot have a nice and cold refreshment?" "Oh, you know what? Why didn't we think of this idea beforehand? Come on, Duck, what do you say we get back to work?" So Oliver and Duck didn't stop until they arrived safely at the lemonade factory. The workers were very pleased to see them. And one by one, they began to unload the crates full of lemons from the trucks, and a few moments later, they had changed into lemonade beverages like magic. The workers reloaded them back onto the trucks, and Oliver and Duck's journey began once more. At Knapford Station, lots of people were waiting at the platform just before Gordon could arrive with the express when suddenly they heard a growing whistle sound. Arriving at the station were Oliver and Duck with their deliveries. Their drivers scrambled out of the cab immediately and proudly presented the refreshments. "That's right," they would say. "Come and get your ice-cold lemonade, only $5. No need to pout, everybody gets one." The passengers all swarmed around like happy bees as they held up their $5 bills, and it wasn't long before Gordon arrived with the express. He was surprised to see his passengers with hands full of ice-cold beverages as they climbed aboard. The next day, Oliver and Duck's drivers and firemen had enough money to help the ladies purchase the now mended dance studio. It was as good as new. The state officer was most surprised. Goodness gracious, I didn't think you'd go through all this trouble to make that much money just so you can help the ladies purchase an entire building like this one before. Well, teamwork is our destiny, said Oliver. What can I say? Well, in that case, said the state officer, ladies, it looks like the dance studio is all yours once again. As soon as the last sentence was spoken, the ladies were very excited. They each offered Toad, Duck, and Oliver some tickets as a way of saying thank you.
We'll see you all tomorrow night.
And they were right. The night of the recital was quite a success. What do you know? Whispered Duck to Oliver. We sure were really useful engines yesterday, weren't we? Quite right, Duck. It just goes to show you how a special delivery can save another corporation. At last, the performance came to a close, resulting in a delightful chorus of cheers and whistles. To the point where even Donald and Douglas were impressed. Good job, lad. And even Oliver had to smile.